This is episode 145 of Southern Gospel Now, your weekly look at what's going on in Southern gospel music. I'm Greg Goodman. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern gospel music and soundtracks. Wedding bells rang recently for Levi and Rachel Mills. Levi, of course, part of The Sound, and it's a true musical marriage as Rachel Payton is part of the CCM group Renee. Our congratulations to Levi and Rachel. Ernie Haase and Signature Sound were a part of the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Nashville, Tennessee recently. The group was to do a few patriotic songs before former President Donald Trump spoke. Ernie explains how the group was called back onto the stage.
So I thought, in front of all the broadcasters of religious broadcasting, I'm going to sing my new song, We Are the Church. And it went off. Oh, man, we were so excited. They got it. And then we turned around to leave the stage, and they said, he's still not here. Just keep singing until we tell you to stop. How wonderful that was for us, but how frightening it was for us because we had no way to communicate with our sound man who had all of our tracks. Fortunately, I had an earpiece. And fortunately, my sound man, Andrew Goldman, he just started talking to me in my ear. How about someday? And then as we're singing, I'm shaking him off. How about this? And I'd shake him off. Then he'd say, how about Oh, What a Savior? And I'd nod yes. For 45 minutes before President Trump came out, we riffed and told stories and sang songs. I'm a little exhausted, and I really don't remember what we sang, but we had a wonderful time and was able to take our music that we love, this great Southern gospel music, to a much broader audience. And I really believe we made a lot of new friends at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
Looks like new music is on the way from Greater Vision. The guys were in the studio this week and tell us all about it.
6 tracks.
That's pretty neat. Six tracks,
Yeah.
and so we're excited about that. So
we had already done 5, and they're already fully recorded, mixed, mastered, and everything, ready for the next album. And then so today we were tracking for the last ones.
Oh yeah, some new stuff.
The new album will be out in September, so be looking for that in September.
Gold City's current hit is Help Is On The Way. Bass vocalist Jeff Chapman remembers one of his heroes featured on this song way back in the day.
I'm telling you, man, our brand new single was written by Squire Parsons, and it's a new version of an old song that was on the Moving Up album of Gold City. I never will forget as a kid listening to that. I just love to hear Tim Riley singing that. Help is on the way, and man, it's just as good as it was back then. We've had fun singing this, and looking forward to what it's going to do. I think the people are going to love it, and some of you older Gold City fans will remember this song from the Moving Up album.
We finally have an air date for the Nelons on Family Feud. The first episode will air on April 30th, 2024. Kelly Nealon Clark says, we'll see how this one goes, and then hopefully they will air the other 2 episodes the family participated on in the future. As a Southern Gospel fan, this is going to be a fun one to watch. One of our favorite groups, the Nelons, on Family Feud, April 30th. Brian Free and Assurance's current hit is Meet Me at the Cross. Jake Englund talks about mercy meeting grace.
There's a line in the chorus of Meet Me at the Cross that I love. It says, meet me at the place, referring to the cross, where mercy meets up with grace. And I love that contrast because mercy is not getting what we deserve. Like, we deserve hell. We deserve condemnation. We deserve to be outcasts. Not getting what you deserve, that's mercy. But grace is getting what you do not deserve. Mercy is not being punished, but grace is receiving forgiveness. Grace is receiving salvation, receiving a new life, receiving acceptance. So I love that. Mercy meets up with grace.
Mike LeFevre of the LeFevre Quartet says we need to believe the Word.
It's hard not to be broken as a person sometimes, but we find our source of strength is Jesus Christ. Sometimes it feels like you don't know how to make it through it, but I always go back to my training and the words that He said in His Word. And if we're going to believe the Bible, we've got to believe all of it. We can't just pick and choose what we want to believe. We need to believe what He says and count on that.
Kristen Bearfield and Brooke Aldrich have brought us the song Heaven's Getting Sweeter Each Day. Kristen describes the sound of the song, which features Darren Aldrich, Mark Fain, and Andy Leftwich.
When Darren and Brooke and I sat down the night before we went in the studio to arrange this song, we said, it really harkens back to that mountain gospel style of music that the three of us grew up on growing up in Western North Carolina, and it takes us back home.
The current song from the Jordan Family Band is In God's Time. Josh Jordan says it's okay to ask God questions.
When I began writing this song, I really felt it was a message that people could relate to. It's okay to talk to God. It's okay to ask God why, not necessarily question Him, but ask God why, talk to Him. I found out in my own personal life that He really loves the communication. I remember hearing oftentimes you're not supposed to question God. You got to fully trust in Him. And although we do, at times it's just in our nature to ask God why. And you'll find He really don't mind. He loves talking to you, and He loves being your friend.
Time for a look at the top Southern Gospel songs of the week from the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
When They Call My Name, Mark Trammell Quartet.
When they call my name.
Number 4.
Meet Me at the Cross, Brian Free and Assurance.
Meet me at the cross.
Number 3.
Help Is on the Way, Gold City.
For help is on the way.
Number 2.
Unstoppable God, The Kingsmen.
The unstoppable God.
Number 1.
Stand in the Storm, Booth Brothers.
I'd rather stand in the storm with Jesus.
Congratulations to the Booth Brothers for having the #1 song for 2 weeks in a row. That's our report for this week. Don't forget about the contest at southerngospelprizes.com. Just added the Easter Prize Pack. Registration and details available at southerngospelprizes.com. If you missed episodes of Southern Gospel Now, you will find them wherever you find podcasts, or you can listen to them at southerngospelnow.com. I'm Greg Goodman reminding you to love your neighbor, and I'll see you back here next week with another edition of Southern Gospel Now.